Hey everyone, just wanted to stop by real quick for this podcast starts and say you should like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to follow me on all my social medias at John D. Clouser, literally the same name as the name that you subscribe to on this YouTube channel. So enjoy this clip, and I'll see you guys on the other side. Whew, right before the battery goes out. And my voice goes out.
With the ninth pick in the first round, the New York Jets select tight end from Penn State, Kyle Brady.
Ladies and gentlemen, our first real upset, I think, at this point in the draft. Not that Kyle Brady is a reach.
This has to be the biggest mockery I've ever seen in my entire life.
We can trade a
Hands down, the biggest
I would trade him right now.
for them.
The Jets are going to have no receivers next year. They're going to play with 6 tight ends on the field. Boomer can't throw the ball more than 10 yards, so what does it matter?
I'm not proud that they're booing.
It's a bad dream.
Why we need this kid, I don't know.
Lousy football.
Welcome to The John Show with your hosts, John Doogie Clouser.
All right. What's going on, guys? How are you? We are here on it. Did you see all that stuff? Let's just move this. I got these new shirts, and like they're very stretchy. It's so funny with like no matter how many shirts or how big the shirt I get, this is a fucking extra large, and like my nipples are still showing. Anyway, what's up, guys? So we're here on a new episode of the Juan Solo Show with your host, me, Juan D. Clouser, John D. Clouser, and episode 113? Holy crap, we're doing it, guys. We're here. You guys are absolutely cool because you could be someplace else, but you guys decided to be here. So what's up? I need to stop doing like it's so funny. Do you know like French people do ooh because like is like I believe is a word in French. I think it means like here. I'm actually, I'm not gonna lie to you. No clue. I know it's a word. So that's the reason why it's to them it's so weird when we're doing like as like our filler because it's weird, but like you know, but if you listen to like French speaking, ooh, that's weird too. So yeah. So what's going on? How are you? Yeah, it's a new week, other week. It's so funny because I just heard a click. So it's like, okay, so what's so funny is like, what's sad? It's funny and sad. A lot of the things that I have, a lot of my equipment is dying, I guess, or cars or, you know, those kind of things. So my inbox, I bought this inbox a couple years ago. I bought it used. It was like $300. I bought the 8-channeled one. The reason why I got that was just because I was like, oh, that's easy. Like, if I buy that one, then I can, like, rent it out to a company or rent it out. Like, because people would rather use an 8-channeled one versus, like, just having a 2-channel. I don't know. Because, like, bands and stuff like that, doing, like, music and stuff like that, when you, especially with drums, like, having an 8-channel is, like, so much easier to, like, to record the sounds and stuff like that. Really, honestly, because you have to have a lot of channels to record the, you know, all the different things, part of the drum kit. So when I started using it, I've used the hell out of that thing, and I've gotten way more than $300 worth of value out of that. But what's so sad is like it's like the back part of it, like when you're plugging it in. I think I've talked about this before, but it's now it's really starting to get messed up. So you really have to like kind of play with it. So it's like, well, and then every time I hear a click or something like that, I'm like, because I can see the laptop, not the laptop, but the computer that has it running, and so I'm watching it, and like there's numbers that are going like super super fast. It's like a point, then a bunch of different numbers just going, and so I'm just watching that. I'm like, oh, okay, just gotta make sure it's recording. Because I'm like, okay. Because like what happened a couple weeks ago is like I was recording one of these and then the audio just went out. And then the next week I was recording when I do the pre-thing, you know, the thing, hey guys, like thank you so much for coming. Check out thank you for subscribing to my YouTube channel, all that kind of stuff. Like, but right for you should see the clip. Well, I record those on two different audio things, just to play with them both, just so I can learn how to play with two different audio platforms, pretty much. And when I was doing the second one, like when I exported the audio to that from there, it was hollow and it didn't sound like it even picked up anything. It just sounded like it was from the onboard microphone on the camera, or the microphone that I use on the camera. So I was like, well, shit. I was like, this is interesting. So, and then my car, that girl, Sally, she finally kicked the bucket. So I don't know if I talked about it on the Aaron and John show, that someone backed up in my car. Took a while for that whole thing get started because the people would not talk to them at all. I don't know why, because so they had insurance, so it's like, I don't understand why you guys can't just talk to them, because I guess it was the boyfriend of the girl who had the insurance. Then Progressive started the whole thing, and then that was a whole giant fucking shit show, because Progressive called me and told me that, hey, we're gonna be able to cover it, and we're gonna get your car fixed. I'm like, okay, great, awesome. And they're like, well, would you like a rental car? I'm like, perfect. They're like, well, you're gonna drop your car off on this date, and then that day you're gonna meet up with the rental car people, and you're gonna drop your car off. You're gonna get into the rental car, and you'll be good to go. And so I was like, sweet, awesome, great. This is how it's going to work. This is how it's going to be. Then the rental car company literally called me like 25 minutes later after I got off the phone with the insurance company. And they were like, well, when do you want to come pick up your car? I'm like, when can I? They're like, well, you can pick up it now. I'm like, well, I can't pick up it today. Can I pick up tomorrow? They're like, perfect. Yeah, just pick up tomorrow in the afternoon sometime. Awesome, great. So did that. That was like on a Friday, and then maybe I think it was a Monday, the insurance company called me. They're like, hey, we're just wondering like why you picked up the rental car early. I'm like, well, I picked it up early, or I picked it up because the rental car company got a hold of me, and you told me they're gonna get a hold of me, and they asked me like, when do I want to come pick it up? And I just said, I asked them, when could I? And they're like, well, you can do it now. And I'm like, okay. And like, well, do you need the car? I'm like, well, do you understand, like, the whole front of my bumper and all that stuff was damaged. So what do you think I'm going to need? Of course I need my car. I haven't been driving it. Why do you think I've been calling you every once in a while? Like being, hey, what's the status of what's going on with this whole thing? But it was like, and then I drove the rental car, no big deal. And then during the time that they're like, hey, the damage of the car was more versus like the value of the car. So we're just totaling the car out. And I'm like, okay. So they gave me the value of like what the car would be, which of course is always never not it, because it's like, well, like what the fuck do you want with a car that has almost 300,000 miles on it anyway? I'm like, you're going to just scrap it? I'm assuming that you're just going to scrap it and try to get the parts for it, I would assume. And so they gave me my value thing, and then like, I had to sign up the title, overnight it to them, and then like, all that stuff. And it's just been a fucking headache. And then after that, it then starts the whole process of me getting a new car. And I get a new car, and it's just like, or I have to go through all that, like have a down payment and all that. That's just like, oh, adult stuff. It's just like, oh, good God. It's like just looking to like a light. It's like taking one of these lights and just like staring them right into your eyes. That's how I feel with doing all this shit. It's like, this is what I'm doing. This is how it's gonna happen. So that's been my life for a quick minute. I hope y'all been doing good. Easter was last weekend. Hope you all had a great Easter. Ramadan's still going on. Was it? Oh, well, that's that great. Learned some more crazy fucking stories with that. My friend introduced me to like a really cool story, like the majestic, magical evening that Muhammad like went to Mecca and all that stuff. I'm not gonna tell this fucking story, but it's just crazy. You just look it up, because it's just, oh my God. There's like a creature with wings like on his legs and stuff like that. So, but yeah, it's a good time. Then Passover is still going on. Passover ends tomorrow evening. So there we are. We're just doing this stuff, right, guys? When I started this podcast, I was like, I got everything up, got everything where it's going. I'm like, okay, I can get this done early. I can get it done like an hour and a half earlier than I normally do. And when I was doing that, when I was like setting everything up, and then I was like, well, I have no idea what I want to fucking talk about, because I literally wrote down one thing. And the thing that I wrote down, it was even that, it was like, oh, like when you like talk to your friends, and that challenge, like, well, would you, like, for $1 billion, like, would you suck a dick for $1 billion? And we talk about it all the time, and like you're always like, would you, huh? Like, well, how much money would it take you to suck a dick, huh? But it wasn't. It's not even that funny. But it's like we never talk about the guy who's getting the blowjob. Like, does he want this blowjob? Has he agreed to this blowjob? Is he going to be just basically like in the same situation, but another thing, like, oh, like how long do you think it would take you? Like, if it takes you less than like 10 minutes to come, that means you're gay. If you have a guy suck your dick, it's like, could you think you get hard? It's like, is that like his situation? Like, what's going on with him? Like, how did he get into this thing? Was he just like, oh, you know what, guys, I'll just take one for the team. We'll do it. We'll get it done. It's like, it's just. Yeah, it's not even that funny. It's just one of those like weird. It's one of those things like if you think about when you're stoned, like even when after that you're like, oh, why did I think about that? Like that's such the dumbest thing to think about. That's such dumb stuff. So dumb. I think about the dumbest of things. Did you hear about the Johnny Depp stuff? Johnny Depp suing his ex-girlfriend or ex-wife or some shit for. Was it because she like slander basically because she wrote some fucking thing in a magazine talking about how he was abusive, and then now like this thing came out that she fucking pooped in the bed because he was like, hey, I'm gonna leave you, and she's like, you better fucking not leave me. He's like, I'm gonna fucking leave you, and then she's like, you guess what, I'm gonna take a shit in this bed, and then she blamed it on the dogs, and he's like, that's human shit, dude. It's like, and I'm just like, out of all the moves, that is probably the most powerful move you could do at that moment. Like, what else can you do? What else are you going to come back to that? Like, what the fuck? That's it. That is it. That's it. It's insane. And it's the dumbest thing it's so gross. Oh, man. I don't think I know what to do. I'd be like, okay. I think I gotta move. I think I have to move from this whole place. Like, this whole place is like, or at least like this room is not going to be the bedroom anymore. I'd rather sleep in the living room. Change the living room to the bedroom, and the living room to the bedroom. I think I just said the same thing twice, didn't I? Take the bedroom to the living room, and the living room to the bedroom. Yeah, there we go. Oh man, guys, let me tell you. Tonight, pretty tired, and these lights, I have like fucking 17 fucking lights over here, and they are just blinding with this eye, and it's just like good googly moogly. And what's so funny is I'm just like, oh, I just want to do this. I just don't want to, we could just do this another night. But it's like, John, as soon as you like say that you're not gonna feel sick, as soon as I get done with doing this podcast, I'm not gonna feel sick. I'm gonna be fine. I'm gonna be okay. And like, I had a Monster. I'm having 2 beers just to like bring down like to even out the caffeine. I'm like, God damn it, John! Like, you shouldn't drink that. You shouldn't drink that. I feel like that's not the right word to say. You shouldn't drinking. Should drinking. You shouldn't drinking that drink. Is that even right? Oh my God, I'm really confused. Okay, so like, if you had something, like, I shouldn't have drinking that drank. No, I shouldn't have drinking that drank. That drank. Right? I shouldn't have drunk that drank. I'm too drunk to taste this chicken. That's probably the best way to go with this. Oh my God. Anyway, but yeah, so I'm like, yeah, he's like, yeah, drinking this natural ice. We're doing it, guys. Not gonna lie. About 15 minutes, I'm like, okay. I have about 15 minutes left. It's like, you're just like, it's like sometimes when you're jogging around that track, I'm like, okay, that's lap 3, lap 4, lap 5, lap 6, lap 7. Like, you're just like, good googly moogly. Because, like, like, I guess we could just go down the list of random shit that, like, I have written down, but I just, from past weeks, oh, why does everyone have a story about crying when they played Monopoly? Apparently, like, this game was, like, completely set up wrong, because the game was set up to, like, just basically destroy everyone, right? But yeah, everyone has a story about playing Monopoly and crying. Like, I have a story of it and getting destroyed, and, like, because, like, it's so funny, because, like, when someone's destroying you, it's always like, you could still play, but you just be taxed every time you take a turn, so eventually you just burn out. Or you can just, like, give me all your money now, and you could just be out. And you're like, what the fuck? Like, good God, you just set me up, like, to no way to get out of this at all? And everyone is always like, yeah, yeah, I'm just like, give me your money, you fucking cunt. Like, just give it over here. Just pass it over. Just do it. Come on. It's just, one of those things. Yeah, we have that. I have the now wearing what you want. I guess that's what you think. What? God. Oh my God. Oh God. Have I ever talked about the Tiger Woods thing? How I thought Tiger Woods. So, there's a point in my life when I thought there was no race. So, I knew there was race in the sense of, like, because when I first moved to the States, I was from Honduras, and I knew that, and I realized that. But when I came to the States, I just thought that everyone was white. Like, I assumed, like, everyone was kind of like a white person. Like, I kind of was white because I look white. And then I saw Tiger Woods play. I saw him playing golf. And my parents were like, yeah, he's a black guy. I'm like, a black guy? Like, because I thought he was just because he was so tan. I feel like I've talked about this. I had to have talked about this before. We could just go to, like, weird things I've Googled. The Mike Tyson punch. Yeah, we should just, like, the weird shit that I've Googled this week. So the Mike Tyson punch. So, like, this guy was sitting behind Mike Tyson, and apparently Mike Tyson was just, like, not having it anymore, because the guy was, like, a super fan and was just, like, super annoying. And Mike Tyson was eventually just like, you know what? Fuck you. Fuck this. Like, I'm not going to deal with this. And he punched him. Like, now, granted, should he have done that? No. Probably have not. Probably not the best thing to have done. But he did do it. So, that's where we're at on that. The Amber Heard thing with the pooping in the bed. Talked about that. Knock knock jokes. You guys want to hear some weird knock knock jokes? Yeah, I Googled the most weirdest of shit, guys. Like, I'm just the dumbest of stuff. I'm like, well, I just Googled, like, 101 knock knock jokes. Knock knock, who's there? Noble. Noble who? Noble, that's why I knocked. All right. Knock knock, who's there? Tank. Tank who? You're welcome. I like that one. Knock knock, who's there? Luke. Luke who? Luke thought the peephole and found it. Look through the peephole and find out. I fucked that one up, but that one actually is not that bad. Knock knock, who's there? Figs. Figs who? Figs fix the doorbell. It's not working. It's not working. 5. Knock knock. Who's there? Annie. Annie who? Anything you can do, I can do too. Okay, we're done with this. All right. Can you guys see that? Like, I literally had nothing to talk about this week, and I feel like maybe it's like this is like one of these times you're like, John, you've done 20 minutes. No, I'd be mad if you just like bowed out right now at 20 minutes, but it's like, well, yeah, no, because it's like that seems lazy to me. Doesn't that seem lazy to do? I looked up Red Dog beer. It's 4.8 alcohol percentage. It's by the Miller Brewing Company. Is Red Dog still available? Although popular during the mid to late 90s, Red Dog faded nearly into obliviousness after it turns to the 20th century. Since 2005, it has been returning to stores in a current price segment between Miller Lite, High Life, and Milwaukee's Best. Interesting. Isn't it weird? Like, do you remember, like, because I remember looking at it, and that shit was always around when I was a young kid. That was always the beer that everyone was drinking, was Red Dog all the time. Red Dog. And I was like, huh. And I was always like, when I eventually start drinking, I'm going to start drinking Red Dog. And then when I started drinking, I just started drinking natural ice. That's all I started drinking. It seems like it's basically the same shit that I fucking drink. It's just one of those like dog shit, one of those weird beers that doesn't even need to be made anymore. And that makes sense. Like, if you really think about it, like, there only needs to be like 6 beers made. 6. That's it. Everything else is pretty much the same fucking thing. Like, natural ice, Bud Ice, like, it's all the same. Those are all the same beers. Those are all the exact same shit. And then, like, you can have like a Bud Light, Budweiser. Like, those are all, like, it's all the same shit. It's all the same thing. So that's the other thing I've managed. And then, like, I keep joking with my friend. My friend's about to, like, she has this really beautiful pit bull that has this giant ass fucking head. And I'm always like, and him and I, the dog and I, which is a him, it's a boy, I'm assuming, because he has a penis. I don't know. I haven't asked what I haven't asked him what his pronouns are. So I do apologize. I do not mean to misgender. We could sit here all day, couldn't we? Anyway, so we're going to continue. And, so I was like, I'm going to breed your dog. We should breed before you cut his dick off, like, not his dick, but his nuts off. Like, we should breed him so I can have like a puppy of him, of my own. And I can raise this little puppy from a seedling up into a beautiful pit bull, like, the dog is. And, just being just super silly. It's like that. And so, like, there's actually, like, people who, like, I help collect semen and artificial inseminate dogs for a living. This was a thing on Reddit. So, and that's the reason why it got brought up, because I was like, because she was the person I was hanging out with. Was like, like, you can do that. There's like people who jerk off dogs, or like, do things to get semen from dogs and then inseminate them to a female, and that's how you breed them. It's much easier, and it's much, I guess, it's not it's such a barbaric thing with like just having 2 dogs fuck each other, and like you sit there and you watch them fuck, and then like they're done. So I guess, and I could have just said making love instead of fucking. So we all have problems here. I helped collect semen and artificial inseminate dogs for a living. Wow, that, John, you just really roughly dissected that whole thing. I worked as a veterinarian clerk, where we collected on male dogs and inseminated female dogs for breeding. It is an important job to have that makes a difference, boys. That's why I naturally masturbate caged animals for, oh God, Wow. Okay. Well, we're not gonna. You guys really. You know, sometimes you do a segment, and in your head, it seems like it's gonna be fun, and you're gonna go into it. But when you can't say words, and that's probably the universe being like, hey, 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 don't, hey, 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 hey. It was probably like, if there is a God, he's up there. He's like, oh, no, John, don't, stop. The reason why I'm having you stutter with this shit is like, I don't want you to talk about this. Don't stop talking about it. And so, yeah, like when I originally had this and I was looking it up, I was like, I'm going to look this up later and I'm going to enjoy this. It's going to be funny. It's going to be a fun little time. Nothing about this I enjoyed. Not an ounce of it. So, moving on. Let me just check we got, 4 minutes left? Okay, guys. Just bear with me because we're trying, right? You know, hey, it's sometimes it's about that. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. This is another weird story. So Jesus, like what, Moses' son almost died during Passover because his mother had to circumcise him during the Passover. Right before, the holy, like, I guess the angel came down, because, you know, the Holy Spirit can be considered angels. It's like one giant blanket over angels. I don't know, maybe angel. And then, when you talk about for the Judaism, it is like for Passover is considered as like just the angel of death that comes down, and like if you have blood over your door, you're fine. You'll be saved. And so I Googled because like I overheard, like, because like there was a thing I was listening to because you know it's Holy Week, so like Holy Week you have a lot of stuff going around. You know, it's a lot more my feed, you know, just because I talk about it, and of course my phone listens to me, so it's gonna be like, hey, you want to listen to this? You want to listen to this Jewish stuff? You want to listen to this Muslim stuff? How about this Christianity stuff? How about this angel stuff? How about this demon stuff? How about this, that, everything? And so yeah, Moses' son almost died on Passover, because the son wasn't circumcised and the mother had to do it. So that's really all I got. So. Then there was this girl, she survived from a 100-foot fall. So there was this amusement park, and you would jump off this 100-foot cliff or this 100-foot dive thing, and you land on this net. Well, they told the girl to jump, and there was no net down, and she landed right on concrete, and she broke her back, and she broke her hip, like her left hip or something. Not something, but that's what she broke. And holy shit. Sorry, like I just saw this thing. So ex-Honduran president was what the hell? Okay, guys, you're gonna hear this shit. What the hell? The ex-president of Honduras is it's been sent to the United States because of drug trafficking for drug charges. We're doing it right over here, guys. Go Honduras. Viva la Honduras, right? Right?
Ex-president of Honduras extradited to U.S. on drugs charges.
Isn't it a good time to be a Honduran? United States Drug Enforcement Agency has extradited the Honduran former president Juan Orlando Hernandez to New York, where he will be facing federal drug trafficking and weapon charges. Honduran National Police delivered a handcuffed Hernandez to the DEA agents at the Tegucigalpa airport just over 2 months after he was arrested outside of his home on the 15th of February, following a request of the United States Department of Justice. Hernandez, 53, left office in January 27th after 2 terms of president. But yeah, he is charged with drug trafficking, conspiracy to related weapons charges, which carried a combined minimal sentence of 40 years in prison. Hernandez is expected to plead non-guilty upon arraignment. He is repeatedly denied any involvement with drug trafficking. So yeah, isn't this great? Good time to be good time to be alive. Good time to be a Honduran. This is what happens sometimes. our country is so fucking corrupt. It is insane. You don't understand. That should tell you. And I think that's going to be the podcast, guys. I'm going to end on there. Honduras is slightly corrupt, but hey, it's a beautiful country. Dude, ocean's beautiful. All right, I'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye.